Jack it up.
Hello there guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be looking at a pre-workout called Eclipse by All In Supplements. It says a natural phenomenon. So how's it going to fare as we cover the taste, price, label and the effects? Will it be your next pre-workout? And if you do like our videos, please do hit the like button, hit the sub button if you haven't already, tick the bell icon. So we drop about 3 reviews a week, but let's get into this one. Okay, first segment, taste and mixability. We've got the pleasure of trying blueberry flavour, as you can see there. And it looks very thick and substantial in the glass, I must say so myself. It almost looks like you're staring into the galaxy, you know, across the universe, which I guess is kind of the vibe they're going for, right? Sort of. So yeah, blueberry flavour. Is it going to be a typical tasting one, or is it going to be a bit more unique? Mixability wise, sim better. I'd say it's probably slightly worse than average, but we normally find as you drink it, it sort of mixes and goes anyway, so it's never normally a problem, but let's see how it tastes. Yeah, so it's a very unique blueberry. It doesn't taste like a typical pre-workout style blueberry flavour, you know, like your blue raspberries, your blue raz sort of flavour. It's nice, I like it. It's nice and sweet, it's not really sour. There's no chemical undertones to it, nothing nasty on the back end coming through there. I'll give it another sip and I'll formulate a score for you. Yeah, I'm surprised by it. I do like it. Do you know what, I probably would give it an 8.5 out of 10. Like, it is really, really nice. It's even growing on me as I'm drinking it. There's actually weird little like shards at the bottom from the mixability. It's got to be one of the ingredients doing that maybe, but it's very interesting. Very, very unique is how I describe it. But anyway, before I waffle anymore, 8.5 out of 10. Like I say, let's move on to price. So, how much will you be paying to pick up Eclipse pre-workout? Well, you'll head over to the official website, allinsupplements.com, where you'll find this 20/40 serving container on there for £32.99. And obviously we go on the max serving, so 20 servings in this scenario, because most people are going to do it, let's be honest. And when you do that, and you work out the maths, it comes to £1.65 per the serving. And if you put that on our consistent pre-workout pricing scale that works out how expensive pre-workouts are from across the world, where a 5 out of 10 is considered to be a bang average price for pre-workouts as of today, this actually comes in at a 5 out of 10. So it's an averagely priced product, pretty typical. So what sort of pre-workout are we going to be getting for that money when it concerns the label and the real world effects? Is it going to be a better than average pre-workout or below? Let's find out together. Okay, let's get into this label of this interesting looking pre-workout from All In Supplements. So let's see if they've gone all in on the ingredients panel as well, shall we? So a nice juicy 24 grams, which is definitely not to be sniffed at as a serving amount if you're going for the full serving, which as you know, we always do. So we've got a bunch of vitamins up the top, you know, mostly B vitamins and electrolytes to help with your general bodily function, you know, muscle firing, energy production within the body, all that good stuff. But let's move into the meat and potatoes of the formula here. And we have got ourselves pure L-citrulline at 7.2 grams, which is a juicy dose, not to be sniffed at. You know, the minimum effective dose is 3 to 4 grams. Most people are happy with 6 grams. You know, that's considered to be a really good dose. So 7.2 above and beyond here. That's going to help bump up nitric oxide levels within the bloodstream, increasing vasodilation, blood flow, and ultimately the pump. So we'll take that. And then next up, we've got L-arginine at 4 grams, which is a hefty dose. I don't know if you guys know, but L-citrulline is the precursor to L-arginine, but they find that obviously in studies and in the body, L-citrulline works better in terms of increasing nitric oxide levels. But, you know, when it's used, when L-citrulline and L-arginine are used in synergy, L-arginine does work better than if it's just used alone. So obviously, it's going to help alongside the L-citrulline to increase vasodilation and nitric oxide levels even further. So then we move down to beta-alanine at 3.2 grams, a dose we look for. That's going to help with endurance when it builds up in your system. It's going to help to buffer lactic acid, but why it's also in pre-workouts, you know, and why people love it primarily is for the itchy, tingly sensation, that sense of urgency it gives you as it kicks in. And then we've got betaine and hydrous at 2.5 grams. Again, another nice dose, the dose we look for. That's a jack of all trades in terms of it's going to help with your power, your pumps, and it even has some nootropic function as well. Then we move down to citicoline, and I've got to say it, guys, this is a mega dose. I can't even recall seeing it this high. 2 grams, holy moly. So that's going to help with your focus, your concentration. It's going to help your athletic performance in the gym. It's a great ingredient. You know, normally we like to see alpha GPC, but citicoline is a very close second. So happy to see that. Then we got L-taurine at a really random dose, actually. It's the first ingredient we've seen that's a bit suboptimal in the dosing. 875 milligrams. You know, we normally like to see upwards of a gram, but it's another jack of all trades amino. It's going to help with your energy production in the body, your cognition, and your electrolyte balancing, and you know, your pump side of things, hydration. Then we've got L-tyrosine. Again, the dosage dips a little bit here compared to what we would like. 800 milligrams. You know, we like to see upwards of a gram again here. That's going to help with your mood and focus. Then we've got caffeine and hydrous at a modest dose of 200 milligrams. You know, I'd say the average in pre's these days is anywhere between 3 and 350. So yeah, definitely a little bit less there. They've gone for more of an energy drink level of caffeine, I would argue here, but definitely enough that you'll feel it for sure. It's like 2 coffees worth. So it's the main stimulant in any pre-workout that's going to wake you up and get you moving. And it's the backbone for most other ingredients to sort of sit on and work. Then we've got L-theanine at 150 milligrams, which is, you know, I love it or hate it ingredient, another amino acid. You often see it in sleep aids because it helps to relax you and calm you down, but it's put in pre-workouts to smooth over any potential jitters and negative effects of any stimulants, and tunnel it more into a calm sort of focus. So yeah, that's what we're going to hope for here. You know, we don't mind L-theanine in pre-workouts if it's put in there at the right ratio. We tend to turn our nose up at it a bit if it's in at a higher dose than the caffeine and other stimulants. But it's in here at a lesser amount than the caffeine, so we're hopeful. So yeah, hopefully that channels that into a nice productive focus. Then we've got theobromine at 150 milligrams. Again, that's another very mild stimulant that does also have some blood flow benefits, mood elevation benefits, and obviously deliver a tiny little bit of extra energy on top of that caffeine. Then we wrap off with bioperine at 10 milligrams, which is double the dose we normally see. That's going to help with the uptake and absorption of all of these ingredients. Overall, I've got to say I really like the label. I do think it's quite unique. I do just wish that they'd put the taurine and the tyrosine in there at a gram. It's a bit random why they didn't, but I'm sure they have reasons because they've gone above and beyond on all the other ingredients when it concerns dosaging. So yeah, very interesting. Excited to see what it can do for us. So stay tuned, we'll be back in the effects section and we'll let you know. Okay, we are there. Effects time with Eclipse pre-workout, the natural phenomenon. As it promises, enhanced muscle pump, elevated concentration, mental and physical stimulation, amplified endurance, and post-workout recovery. The last one's a bit of an interesting claim, but I don't doubt that maybe some bits do, you know, in the background possibly. But anyway, let's get into the real world effects. What did we think of it in the couple of times we used it? Well, let's start off like we always do with that beta-alanine, and it kicks in hella strong in this one. Honestly, like 9 out of 10 on the tingle scale. One of the strongest ones I've used in recent memory. It has you itching your eyeballs out, which definitely sets the tone to get your butt moving. So if you like beta-alanine, obviously a thumbs up. If you don't like it, maybe start with half a scoop or go for a pre-workout that simply does not have it in it. So yeah, the beta-alanine sets the tone nicely, which we've always said is a good point in daily driver type pre-workouts that are a bit on the lower end of stimulation. So it gives that illusion of something hitting you so you get moving. And it does in this case. So great to see. Let's talk energy next. Obviously we've got 200 caffeine in here, some theobromine as well, but that really is the only needle movers when it concerns stimulation. Obviously you've got some nootropics that might help, you know, to wake things up a bit. But I'd say the caffeine amount with the L-theanine as well, do not forget, that smooth things down even further. Not like the 200 was a high dose to start with. It feels very, very smooth. There's no sense of it kicking in from a stimulation standpoint, so you don't suddenly be like, whew, heart rate doesn't go up, nothing like that. Very smooth entry, very smooth exit. I would say energy lasts about 2 hours, you know, give or take. So that's enough to get your gym session done, do not get me wrong. It might struggle a bit on the longer, more intense days like a pull day or a leg day or what have you. But generally speaking, no issues there. I do think that energy-wise, beginners would be absolutely fine with this one. People that just want a lower caffeine amount, which is very rare in pre-workouts these days, I must say. When people asked us for a pre-workout that has sub 300 caffeine, it really, really is a struggle to pinpoint them down. So they're a dying breed, or they're just not seen. So yeah, this is one I'll be recommending to people that are after a lower caffeine amount pre-workout without having to sacrifice a dosage of other ingredients. So love to see it. It's nice, isn't it, to have a lower stim option. We don't always want to get off our tits every day of the week, or maybe you do. But nonetheless, I digress a little bit there. So energy-wise, very smooth, healthy, feeling productive. There's no peaks, troughs, crash, nothing nasty to come of it. It actually feels very much like a nootropic. Like, don't get me wrong, it wakes you up from a caffeine standpoint. It just doesn't hit you, so you don't feel energized as such. You just feel awake. So that leads me nicely into my next point, which is obviously the focus element, which I would say is obviously better than the energy. I'd say the energy is, as pre-workouts go, below average. But that's obviously what they've gone for on purpose. That's not necessarily a negative point. So yeah, below average energy. Focus and pumps, definitely above average. So let's talk focus first. Obviously, we've got a few nice bits in here for focus, and it does come through, especially with that lower caffeine amount. It allows you, and I've said this before, it allows you to stay on the ball, be productive. You know, your mind isn't too scattered from all the high stims from some of these other pre-workouts. So you do feel a nice sense of well-being, healthiness on this one. A to B to C through your training. You're enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, there's no euphoric feelings, there's no crazy mood elevation. Although there is some, it does not get you off your rocker. So you do have to manage your expectations. I'm sure if you know ingredients, and you've probably worked that out by looking at the label alone. So yeah, the focus was good. It was noticeable. And it's definitely more of a focus-driven pre than an energy-driven one. Right, so last but not least is the pumps. And I would say they're probably the best point about this pre-workout.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
Very early on in the training, you do notice the pumps getting going. Yeah, they were juicy, definitely vasodilated. It's more of a dry contractional pump. Obviously the focus helps things when that's concerned as well. Just a really nice, healthy feeling, well-rounded daily driver type pre-workout. The endurance was definitely there on that one because obviously you're enjoying your training, you're getting pumps. There's no negatives with it, so obviously there's no jitters, there's no crash like I mentioned, there's no appetite suppression. It won't keep you up all night, you know, person dependent, but definitely not for myself. There's no nastiness. It's a very consistent, predictable pre that I think that bodybuilders will enjoy because obviously it's not overstimulating you and burning off loads of calories. I think, like I said, beginners fine. Stim junkies, you'll obviously avoid it unless you specifically want a daily driver type pre-workout. So yeah, I do like it, and I really do like that lower caffeine amount because it allows you to have the option to have other caffeine throughout the day. So you're only getting 200 here, you know, obviously a little bit from the theobromine. You can have your coffees, maybe even a cheeky energy drink later on in the day, and it won't mess you up. So I do like that there opens up that versatility element there. Price point wise, I think that you're not getting a bargain, you're not getting ripped off. I'd say it's priced about right. Obviously, if we get a discount code, we'll pin that in the comments, and that will just make it even better bang for buck. I would say that, yeah, I would say between avoid, buy and shortlist, I would say shortlist it if you're in the market for a lower stim, daily driver-esque pre-workout that puts its skill points more towards the focus and the pump, more so than the energy. If we do get a discount code, that's going to make it probably push it into a buy category rather than just shortlist. So if we do get one, like I said, I will pin it below, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But even if we don't get one, I think that's very, very fairly priced for what you're getting. You know, 24 gram serving amount is no slouch. All I would say to these guys, if they are looking to improve it down the line, is personally, I would get rid of the L-arginine and just increase the L-citrulline even more, you know, to be cheeky, 8-9 grams, who knows. Just get rid of the L-arginine, or maybe keep the L-citrulline at 7.2, random dose, get rid of the L-arginine, but then pull in a different pump ingredient altogether, you know, just pull one off the top of my head, nitrosogene, I don't know, something like that. And then obviously put the taurine and the tyrosine up to 1.5, even 2 grams. That would be really nice to see. So there's some little bits and pieces they could do to tweak the formula to improve the product, but I think as it is, they've done a fantastic job. You know, it's fairly priced, it tastes good, the effects come through really well. It's definitely a nice daily driver pre-workout that I will be recommending moving forward, and I will definitely be using it more times myself moving forward as well, because even us as a review channel that gets sent loads of pre-workouts, you know, hundreds of them, I can probably count on one hand how many we have that's 200 caffeine. You know, 95+% of them are probably 350 plus caffeine. So yeah, like I said, it is nice to have the option to have a lower caffeine amount without sacrificing dosages elsewhere. But yeah guys, I think I have covered it all. Let us know if you've used it, if you want to use it, you know, what else do you want to see us review on the channel, let us know. And as always, stay stimmed.